In our English studies lesson today, we will be looking at elements of a story. Yes, story. I know you love stories. But then we want to look at what are those things that make up a good story. Yes, I know you're going to have a wonderful time learning English studies today. But then, I won't forget the correction to our homework. Let's do that first. Our last topic was synonym. And this is the homework. You were asked to choose the synonym or the nearest in meaning to the word in bold letters. Did you do your homework? I trust you. I know you will do it. Because you know that is the only thing that can guarantee packs of Good Life Magic juice for you. Now, more and more people are becoming literate these days. What is the synonym for literate? The answer is educated. Was that what you wrote? Then you tick it. You give it a tick. You're correct. Number 2, that shooting was not accidental, but a deliberate attempt to kill him. The word is deliberate. What is the synonym for the word deliberate? It is intentional. Did you choose intentional? Good. Please mark it. You're correct. Number 3, he has everything he needs, so he can't afford to grumble at all. He has everything he needs, so he can't afford to grumble at all. The synonym for grumble is complain. Are you sure you wrote complain? Good job, you. Please mark it. You're correct. And the last one, don't yell at me like that. I am not a baby. Don't yell at me like that. I am not a baby. What is the synonym for yell? Yes, it is there. It is color-coded. It is shout. Yes. Don't shout at me like that. I am not a baby. Did you get the 4 sentences correctly? Then I have to celebrate you with a chair. Good job, you. Now to the learning objective for this lesson. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to define a story, identify 5 elements of a story, and describe them. Let me take the learning objective again. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to define a story. Not only that, you should be able to identify 5 elements of a story and describe them. Now, to the introduction. What is a story? You've always listened to stories. What is a story? A story is an account of imaginary or real people, an event told for entertainment. A story is an account of imaginary or real people, an event told for entertainment. In essence, it means that any story you listen to is for the purpose of entertainment and for lessons to be learnt. What are the elements of a story? We have 5 elements of a story. What are they? Let's listen to them. Let's take them one by one. A story has 5 basic but important elements. These 5 components are the characters, the setting, the plot, the conflict, and the resolution. Let's take them one after the other. I repeat, there are 5 components of a story. 5 things, 5 important things that a story must possess. There must be characters, there must be the setting, there must be a plot, the conflict, and the resolution. Let's explain them one after the other. The characters. The characters. In a story, they will always tell you about one person or the other. They will always tell you about maybe one animal or the other. Those are the characters. The characters are the individuals that the story is about. When I say story, once upon a time, there lived a king. He had three wives, and so those people I am mentioning are the characters in the story. So the characters are what? The individuals in the story. Good. Well done. Every story should have a main character and other characters. I remember when we were young and we were told stories. We will have the main person in the story and we'll have others. So we are saying every story should have a main character and other characters. That is about characters. The second one is the setting. Say setting. Yes, setting. Every good story must have a setting. The setting is the location of the action. The location of the action. An author or a storyteller should describe the environment or surrounding of the story in such detail that the person listening will feel that he or she can picture the scene. When I want to describe the setting in a story, I should be able to do it in a way that you'll be able to picture it. Oh, this is what that place should look like. That is the setting. Good. The third one is the plot. Yes, the plot. What is a plot? It is the actual story around which the entire story is based. It is the actual story around which the entire story or a write-up or a book is based. It is the storyline. We call it storyline. A plot should have a very clear beginning, middle, and end. A very good plot should have a very clear beginning, middle, and end. It's not that when you start the story and everybody has started enjoying it, and then at a particular point in time you get to a place and you start thinking, it seems this thing is not real or true. That means that the plot is not in order. A very good plot should have a very clear beginning, middle, and end. Then the conflict. The conflict. Every story has a conflict to solve. It is the challenge the main characters need to solve. It is the challenge, that is the issue, the problem, or what the story is about, what it is set to achieve. That is the conflict in that story. So it is the challenge the main characters need to solve. And lastly, the resolution. The resolution. The solution to the problem is the way the action is resolved, how the story ended. It is the conclusion of a story. Don't forget, I said there are 5, and the 5 are the characters, the setting, the plot, the conflict, and the resolution. So, let us move on. Let us listen to this short story. And when we listen to the short stories, we should be able to identify our 5 elements of a story. Are you ready to listen? Please sit up and listen to this story while I read it. Do you want me to start by saying story, story? You're expecting that. Okay, listen to the story. In a certain village called Lasubeb, there lived 3 brothers. How many brothers? 3 brothers. Those 3 brothers are the what? They are the characters. Good. Good job, you. There lived 3 brothers. They so loved and trusted one another, and they did almost everything together that they could be said to have one mind. But as they were working on their farm one day, John, the oldest brother, accidentally injured the youngest brother. The youngest brother is called Joseph. He injured the youngest brother, Joseph, with a machete. John was sorry. Oh, Joseph, I am sorry. I didn't do it intentionally. I am sorry. The three brothers, I have not told you their names. Their names are John, Joseph, and Samuel. So, who was the brother that was accidentally injured now? That is Joseph. Who wounded him or who injured him? John. And the third person is Samuel. Both Samuel and John pleaded with Joseph to forgive him. We are sorry. It was a mistake. It was not done on purpose. But what happened? Surprisingly, Joseph would not agree that it was an accident. He was determined to revenge. No, I won't take that. You have injured me. No, I must do that's the way you will say it. I want to do my own again. I want to do it to you too. He was ready to do what? To revenge. When he now wanted to revenge, in an attempt, he wanted to slash off a part of John's left ear. You know what happened? Joseph's machete accidentally cut the head off John severely. You know what happened next? John fell down and died. Joseph could only weep. He wished he had forgiven his brother. It was too late. Did you enjoy that story? Oh, some of you are still feeling sad that John died. John died because Joseph could not forgive him. So, who are the characters in the story? What is the setting of the story? What is the plot? What is the conflict? And what is the resolution? Yeah, I can see that a lot of you are eager to say the answer. But then, it is activity time. These are the questions that you will answer. It will really show whether you listen attentively to the story and you're able to bring out those important parts of the story. You've written the 5 answers. Let's see how attentive you've been in this lesson. Yes, I am happy. I got the 5 correctly. What about you? Is it the same? Then I must celebrate you with a cheer. Well done. Now, let's move to Auntie Fumi's heartbeat. That is your homework. Homework. For your homework, you're going to write a story. You know, I just wrote a story and I read it out to you. So you're going to write a story. And the conclusion of that story is, it must be, that is why it is not good to lie. You're going to think of a story. The story must have a character, it must have a setting, it must have a plot, it must have a conflict, and of course it must have a resolution. And you must conclude the story with, that is why it is not good to lie or to tell lies. Will you do that? I trust you because you are brilliant children. We've come to the end of the English Studies lesson for today. Yes, I knew you had fun learning the elements of a story. It is time to hand you over to your mathematician, Uncle Agbaje. It's math time. Well done, children. Don't forget, Auntie Fumi is always proud.